Listen, I know you don't feel like it today. You woke up tired, you're uninspired, you're looking at that to-do list like, man, not today. But let me tell you something. If you only work when you feel like it, you will never make it to the top. Motivation is a great feeling, but it's unreliable. It comes and goes like the wind. One day you wake up feeling unstoppable, ready to conquer every challenge in front of you. The next day, you barely have the energy to get out of bed. That's the problem with motivation. It's based on how you feel in the moment. And if you rely on it to get things done, you'll never be consistent. The most successful people in the world don't wait to feel motivated. They don't rely on some sudden spark of inspiration to get moving. They understand that real progress comes from discipline. Discipline means doing what you said you were going to do long after the mood you set it in has left you. It's showing up, putting in the work, and staying committed, even when you don't feel like it. That's what separates winners from everybody else. Anyone can work hard when they're excited. Anyone can put in effort when things feel easy. But what happens when you wake up and don't feel like it? That's the moment that defines you. That's when you have to make a choice. Do you give in to the feeling or do you push forward anyway? Most people fall into the trap of waiting for motivation. They tell themselves, I'll start when I feel ready. I'll do it when I get inspired. But inspiration is not guaranteed. Readiness is an illusion. If you always wait to feel like doing something, you'll never build the consistency required to succeed. The best in the game, the people who make it to the top, have learned to move forward regardless of their emotions. They don't negotiate with their feelings. They don't entertain the excuses their mind tries to give them. They've trained themselves to take action no matter what. Think about an athlete training for a championship. Do you think they always feel like waking up at 5 a.m. to train? Do you think they always have the energy to push their body to its limits? Of course not. But they do it anyway, not because they feel like it, but because they know the work has to be done. The same goes for entrepreneurs, artists, and anyone trying to build something great. The ones who succeed are not the ones who only work when it's convenient. They are the ones who force themselves to be consistent, even on the days they don't want to. Discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The first time you push through when you don't feel like it is hard. The second time, it's still hard. But over time, it becomes a habit. You stop questioning whether or not you should do the work. You just do it because that's who you are now. It becomes part of your identity. You become the kind of person who shows up no matter what. And that is the key to long-term success. Too many people expect motivation to carry them. They think if they don't feel inspired, they're not supposed to act. But the truth is, action creates motivation, not the other way around. The moment you start moving, the energy comes. The hardest part is getting started. Once you begin, momentum takes over. You stop thinking about whether you feel like it and just focus on the task at hand. That's how real progress happens. Successful people don't have some magical ability to feel motivated every day. They wake up just like everybody else, with doubts, with tiredness, with moments where they don't want to do the work. The difference is they do it anyway. They understand that success isn't about feelings, it's about action. The world doesn't reward thoughts, wishes, or intentions. It rewards results. And results only come from showing up, putting in the effort, and staying consistent, even when everything in you wants to take a break. The problem most people have is they let their emotions dictate their actions. If they feel inspired, they work hard. If they don't feel inspired, they slack off. This is why so many people struggle to achieve their goals. They think they need to feel like it before they take action, but the truth is, feelings are unreliable. There will be days when you wake up exhausted, unmotivated, and full of excuses. There will be times when you look at your goals and think, maybe tomorrow. But successful people don't think like that. They know that waiting for motivation is a trap. They have trained themselves to move even when every fiber of their being wants to stop. Think about the top athletes in the world. They don't skip workouts just because they're tired. They don't take the day off just because they don't feel like training. They push through, they grind, they keep going because they understand that their success depends on it. They don't give themselves a choice. They don't allow their feelings to control their actions. They know that discipline is what separates the great from the average. Every successful person has moments where they doubt themselves, moments where they don't see results fast enough. But the difference is they keep pushing forward. They don't stop just because the process feels hard. They don't let temporary discomfort define their long-term success. This is what makes them different. This is why they reach levels that most people never get to. Because while everybody else is waiting to feel motivated, they're already working. Your mind will always try to trick you into taking the easy route. It will tell you you can do it later. You deserve a break. One day off won't hurt. But that's the exact thinking that keeps people stuck. Every time you give in to those thoughts, you strengthen the habit of procrastination. And once that habit takes control, it's hard to break free from it. The only way to beat it is to act, to get up, to move forward, even when your mind tells you otherwise. Think about every person who has ever built something great. You think they always felt like putting in the work? You think they never had doubts, struggles, or moments of exhaustion? Of course they did. But they understood something most people don't. They understood that feelings come and go, but actions are what create results. They knew that if they only worked when they felt good, they would never accomplish anything significant. This is why successful people stick to their routines. They don't rely on motivation. They rely on habits. They set a schedule and stick to it no matter what. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They make every moment count, and that's why they win. Because while everyone else is hesitating, waiting, and making excuses, they're out there making it happen. Your dreams don't care how you feel. They don't care if you're tired, if you're stressed, if you had a long day. Your goals don't wait for the perfect conditions, and they don't make exceptions for bad days. Success doesn't care about your excuses. It only responds to one thing: effort. The work you put in, the sacrifices you make, and the consistency you maintain, that's what moves you forward. Too many people let their emotions control their actions. They allow a bad mood, a tough situation, or a lack of motivation to dictate whether or not they take action. But that's not how success works. Successful people understand that if they want to achieve something great, they can't afford to let their emotions run the show. Feelings are temporary, but results are permanent. If you only work when you feel good, you will never get anywhere. If you only chase your goals when life is easy, you will never accomplish anything worthwhile. The truth is, success requires pushing through discomfort, frustration, and exhaustion. It requires doing the work even when every part of you wants to stop. Most people have dreams, but they treat them like options instead of priorities. They work on them when they feel inspired, but the moment things get tough, they slow down or quit altogether. That's why so many people stay stuck in the same place year after year. They are waiting for the right moment, the right feeling, the right energy to push them forward, but the right moment never comes. The people who succeed are the ones who understand that action comes before motivation, not the other way around. They take control of their time, their habits, and their mindset. They don't wait to feel ready. They make themselves ready by showing up day in and day out. No matter how they feel, there will be days when doubt creeps in. When you start questioning if all the effort is worth it. When you wonder if you're even capable of reaching your goals. But feelings like doubt and fear are just distractions. They only have power if you let them stop you. The people who make it to the top are not the ones who never have doubts. They are the ones who refuse to let doubt win. They move forward anyway. They put in the work anyway, because they know that no amount of negative emotions can stop them if they refuse to quit. Your dreams don't care if you had a rough day. They don't care if you're in the mood to work or not. They demand consistency. They demand effort. They demand that you push past the excuses and show up anyway. Think about all the people who never made it to where they wanted to be. It wasn't because they weren't talented. It wasn't because they didn't have potential. It was because they let their emotions dictate their actions. They let bad days turn into bad weeks into bad months, and before they knew it, they had completely abandoned their goals. If you want to reach your dreams, you have to stop waiting for the perfect moment. You have to stop giving yourself permission to slack off just because you don't feel like it. Your feelings don't control your future. Your actions do. The people who succeed in life are the ones who understand this on a deep level. They don't waste time waiting for motivation. They don't let temporary emotions dictate their long-term success. They take control. They put in the work no matter what, because they know that success doesn't respond to feelings. It only responds to action. Training yourself to push through discomfort is one of the most important skills you will ever develop. Most people avoid discomfort at all costs. The moment something feels hard, they stop. The second they feel tired, they slow down. As soon as they face resistance, they start looking for an easier way. But success does not come to those who seek comfort. It comes to those who are willing to do the hard things, even when they don't feel like it. It comes to those who refuse to back down just because something is difficult. Your mind is designed to keep you comfortable. It will always try to talk you out of doing the hard work. It will always try to convince you to take the easier path. This is why so many people struggle to stay consistent. The moment things get tough, they start telling themselves, maybe later, maybe tomorrow. But tomorrow turns into next week turns into next month. Before they know it, they have completely fallen off track. Not because they weren't capable, but because they allowed discomfort to stop them. Every time you push through discomfort, you get stronger. Every time you refuse to quit, you build discipline. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. At first, it feels unbearable. Your mind screams at you to stop. Your body tells you it can't take any more. But if you keep going, something incredible happens. You realize that you are capable of much more than you thought. You realize that discomfort is temporary, but the rewards of pushing through it last forever. The difference between people who succeed and people who stay stuck is simple. Successful people have trained themselves to push through discomfort, while unsuccessful people let discomfort control them. The ones who make it to the top are not the ones who had the easiest path. They are the ones who refused to stop, even when the path was full of obstacles. They are the ones who kept moving forward, even when everything in them wanted to quit. The most dangerous thing you can do is let your emotions control your actions. If you only work when you feel good, you will never reach your full potential. If you only push yourself when things are easy, you will never grow. Growth happens when you step outside of your comfort zone. Progress happens when you push past the point where most people stop. Every time you force yourself to keep going, even when it's hard, you separate yourself from the crowd. You build the habits that lead to greatness. The reason so many people never reach their goals is that they assume success should feel good all the time. They think that if something is meant for them, it should be easy. But nothing worth having comes easy. The people who achieve their dreams are the ones who understand that discomfort is part of the process. They know that success requires sacrifice. They accept that there will be moments when they want to quit, but they push forward anyway. Your body can handle more than you think. Your mind is stronger than you believe. The only way to find out what you're truly capable of is to stop backing down when things get tough, to stop letting discomfort dictate your actions. The people who make it are not the ones who had it easy. They are the ones who learned to keep going no matter how hard it got. They are the ones who made the decision that nothing, not tiredness, not frustration, not discomfort, would stop them from reaching their goals. Showing up consistently is what creates success. It's not about how fast you start, how much talent you have, or how motivated you feel. It's about whether or not you show up day after day, no matter what. Most people underestimate the power of consistency. They think success comes from big, dramatic efforts, but in reality, it comes from the small, disciplined actions repeated over time. It comes from doing the work. Even when no one is watching, even when you're tired, even when you don't see immediate results. The reason most people fail is not because they aren't capable. It's because they don't stick with it long enough to see results. They get excited at the beginning, put in effort for a few weeks, and then start slowing down. They expect overnight success, and when they don't get it, they lose motivation. But the truth is, success is built through consistency, not intensity. A little bit of effort every single day will always be bursts of effort followed by long periods of inaction. Think about someone who wants to get in shape. They can't just go to the gym once and expect to see results. They can't work out hard for a week and then take a month off. It's the person who shows up day after day, even when they don't feel like it, that sees real change. The same principle applies to every area of life. Whether it's business, personal growth, or mastering a skill, the key is showing up and doing the work consistently. The people who succeed are not always the most talented. They are the ones who refuse to quit. They are the ones who wake up and put in the effort, even when they don't see progress right away. They trust the process. They understand that results take time. They know that every step forward, no matter how small, is still progress. Too many people stop because they don't see immediate rewards. They think their work isn't paying off because they can't see the results yet. But the truth is, success is like planting a seed. You don't see growth right away, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening. The roots are growing underground, building a foundation. And if you keep watering that seed, keep nurturing it, eventually it will break through the surface. Most people never make it to that breakthrough because they quit too soon. They stop watering their dreams. They stop putting in the work, and they wonder why they never achieve what they set out to do. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is persistence. The ones who make it refuse to stop no matter how slow the progress feels. They don't let frustration stop them. They don't let boredom stop them. They don't let obstacles stop them. They stay committed to the process, knowing that consistency will always lead to results. It's easy to work hard when you're excited. It's easy to stay motivated when things are going well. But true success is built on the days when you don't feel like it. The days when you're tired, when you're discouraged, when nothing seems to be working. Those are the days that matter the most. Because every time you push through, you strengthen your discipline. Every time you show up when you don't feel like it, you prove to yourself that you're serious. If you only work hard when you feel like it, you will never achieve anything great. The people who reach their goals are the ones who show up no matter what. They build momentum through consistency. They understand that success is not about waiting for the perfect moment, but about making every moment count. It's not about how you feel, it's about what you do. Too many people let their emotions control their actions. If they wake up feeling motivated, they put in the work. If they wake up feeling tired, discouraged, or unmotivated, they take the day off. This is why so many people struggle to make progress. They allow temporary emotions to dictate their long-term success. But real winners, the people who achieve their goals, understand that emotions come and go, but discipline is what creates results. Your feelings will never be consistent, but your actions can be. One day you might wake up feeling inspired, ready to take on the world. The next day, you might feel drained, unmotivated, and full of excuses. That's normal. But the mistake most people make is believing that their emotions should determine whether or not they take action. If you only work when you feel good, you'll never get anywhere. If you only push yourself when it's easy, you'll never build the habits that lead to real success. Think about all the people who dream big but never follow through. They get excited about an idea, start strong, but the moment things get hard, they slow down. They tell themselves, I'll do it tomorrow, but tomorrow turns into next week, next month, next year. Before they know it, they're in the exact same place they were before, wondering why nothing has changed. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. Successful people take action, no matter how they feel. They don't wait for the perfect mood, the perfect day, or the perfect circumstances. They get up and do what needs to be done, regardless of how they feel in the moment. The mind will always try to trick you into choosing the easy route. They give into them, you will always stay stuck. There are too many obstacles standing between you and the life you want to create. If you give in to them, you will always stay stuck. If you learn to ignore them and take action anyway, you will realize just how much power you actually have. Success is not built on feelings, it's built on habits. When you train yourself to take action no matter what, you create unstoppable momentum. You become the kind of person who gets things done, not just when it's easy, but even when it's hard. You become the kind of person who doesn't make excuses, who doesn't waste time waiting to feel ready. That's what separates high achievers from everyone else. They understand that their emotions are not in control. They are. Every great athlete, entrepreneur, and leader has days when they don't feel like showing up, but they show up anyway. Not because they feel like it, but because they have trained themselves to act regardless of their emotions. That's what discipline is. It's the ability to push through discomfort, to do the work even when you don't want to. It's the ability to recognize that how you feel in the moment does not determine what you are capable of. Too many people spend their lives waiting to feel ready. They wait for motivation to hit before they take action. But the truth is, action comes first and motivation follows. When you start moving, you build momentum. When you take that first step, you realize that you didn't need to feel like it. You just needed to start. The most successful people in the world know that success is not about feelings. It's about discipline, commitment, and the willingness to do the work no matter what.